Welcome to the Lord Windgrace Estates. As far as our opening hand goes, man, that's going to be a quick in tune for Life from the Loam. Man, I think we risk it on this one. Yeah, we're going to keep on this one. I like everything that we've got going on. A little slow. We do have Realms Uncharted. That'll definitely allow us to get a few more lands going, but I really like what we've got going on. In fact, let's go ahead and get down Command Tower, and that way we just don't run into any sort of counter spell. Let's go ahead and go for Entomb, and let's dump Life from the Loam into the graveyard. And sure, our opponent's like, all right. Turn one into. Let's have some fun. Let's grab Life from the Loam, let's put that in the graveyard, and then we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing against Muldrotha, the Gravetide, so I'm really excited about this matchup. Should be a really nice graveyard battle of the graveyards. We're playing Lord Windgrace, +2, discard a card, then draw a card. If a land card is discarded this way, draw an additional card. Then for a -3, return up to 2 target land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then for a -11, destroy up to 6 target non-land permanents, then create 6 2/2 green cat warrior creature tokens with Forest Walking. Do we hit? Let's see if we hit the land drop. Come on, land. Oh, painful truce. Okay. Anything else? We're going to go and pass the turn. Once we do hit that land drop, we can start going for Life from the Loam. We'll definitely be in a really good position to start dredging some stuff up. We're playing against Muldrotha, the Gravetide. During each of your turns, you may play up to 1 permanent card of each permanent type from your graveyard. If you're new to Magic, that's a little confusing. That's going to be artifacts. That's going to be enchantments. That's going to be creatures. That's going to be lands, planeswalkers, basically anything that sticks around on the battlefield. Let's go ahead and see if we hit the Crux of Fate. All right, we'll pass the turn back over there. We did cover both commanders. Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. If you're going to get into Magic Online, you know, play yourself some Commander, whether it's 1 versus 1 or multiplayer Commander, and Magic Online will certainly be able to take care of you. And let's give a quick shout out to inkedgaming.com. If you're in the market for a custom playmat, use coupon code JOLT to get 10% off your order and help the channel out at the same time. So, and I think that's it. We've covered everything. We've talked about the commanders, talked about sponsors. Let's pray to the magic gods. If you're keeping score at home, let's pray to the magic gods that we hit a land. Oh, there we go. Ancient Tomb. Okay, let's get down Ancient Tomb. And so we need to, opponent's got 1 land up. Yeah, let's go ahead and jam a Realms Uncharted right now. That's exactly what we want to see. Ancient Tomb. And we're about to show you what Life from the Loam can do. So we're going to go for Realms Uncharted. And I think we might end up going for a value pile. We could grab one of our, kind of our combo pieces. That's going to be Dark Depths and something like Thespian Stage. But let's see what we want to grab. You know, let's just go for a straight up value pile. Let's go for Windswept. Actually, we'll go, make sure we're on color for grabbing these lands. Let's go Polluted Delta. Let's go Scalding Tarn. Let's go Wooded Foothills. And then we'll go for, that's going to be it's going to be black source, red source, green source, and then another green source. And actually, Bloodstained Mire would be the better option for us to grab. There we go. All right, so we have Bloodstained Mire, we have Scalding Tarn, we have Verdant Catacombs, and we also have Wooded Foothills. So we're going to click OK. 2 lands are going to go into the graveyard, and then 2 go into our hand. That way we can start making our land drops. We can dredge some of this stuff back out of the graveyard. And then thankfully, once we get down Wayward Sawtooth, we'll really be able to kind of get some good stuff moving. What do we want to get rid of at this point right now? Painful Truce would be nice, but I think kind of like everything else we've got going on. So let's go and chunk a Painful Truce, because what we can do next turn is get down Wayward Sawtooth, and that'll really allow us to kind of build back from some of those land drops that we did miss. Now, as far as taking care of Muldrotha, there's nothing too crazy in the graveyard at this point right now. All they have is a Terramorphic Expanse, and once they do end up going for Muldrotha, we have Dreadbore to kind of take care of it. We also have Assassin's Trophy. So we have some good options to try to keep her in check before she really kind of starts dredging the swamps of Dominaria. And our opponent's going to go for a Executioner's Capsule, sacrificing, targeting Veteran Explorer. Each player may search your library for 2 basic cards and put them on the bounty. Yeah, we will certainly end up going for that. Yes, we definitely want to use that ability. Let's grab our bases. Now, I think at this point, we've got double black, and we're also running into double red and double green. So I think at this point, well, let's just go and split this down the middle. I think we're going to need more black than we will red. So let's go swamp, and let's grab a forest. Have both of those enter. Untapped, and also keeps us online for Assassin's Trophy if we want to blow something up from our opponent's side. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. They've only got 4 mana, and they're going to end up with a ton of mana. The good thing about this is our opponent's only down to 3 cards in the hand, and the worst thing we're seeing out of the graveyard is going to be Executioner's Capsule and Veteran Explorer. So, and they got some new art for Veteran Explorer in the Battle Bond set. But I like the old one. I'm pretty sure. Oh, we got Ravenous Rats. Enter the battlefield, target opponent discards a card. I think at this point, yeah, we'll just chunk one of our fetch lands. Well, either way, we're still going to be on Life from the Loam dredging. Yeah, we'll just go and chunk Wooded Foothills. That way we can at least kind of dredge that back. And if they do end up kind of sacrificing Ravenous Rats, going for a heavy discard build, we can at least use Life from the Loam to kind of fuel our hand to make sure we're not chunking something that we absolutely need. Okay, so we can go for Lord Windgrace. That's going to be -3. I still think we end up going Wayward Swordtooth. Yeah, I think that's going to be a better line of play. So let's go green. Let's go double 2 off Ancient Tomb. We'll go down Wayward Swordtooth. Let's go Life from the Loam on all 3 fetch lands. That's going to be Bloodstained Mire, Scalding Tarn, and then Wooded Foothills. Bring both of those back. Let's go Catacombs with Wayward Swordtooth. Let's go Wooded Foothills with Wayward Swordtooth. And then that's all our land drops. And then we're going to go and pass the turn. So you can see where we kept on that one lander. But once we get down Life from the Loam, really start dredging, we're going to turn this graveyard on, and then we've got some good answers in the hand. Now, as far as getting down Omnath, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are looking at being able to get down Omnath next turn, and then still making 2 land drops off of 2 fetch lands. So that would be pretty good. So we do need to at least make sure we grab 2 more red sources to end up going for Omnath. And if we want to, we can actually still end up jamming an Assassin's Trophy on Muldrotha. We'll see what they end up bringing out. In fact, if they're going to pass the turn, we'll do this at the beginning of our combat step. So let's go Assassin's Trophy. Let's go and crack Catacombs. And we may be kind of aggressive shocking some of this stuff in because we kind of have some weird colors. That's going to be Taiga. Actually, we'll grab Badlands. Yeah, I like this. So we grab Badlands, and then we end up grabbing Crack Wooded Foothills. And with us going for this at the beginning of the combat step, what we're going to be able to do is at least stop them from casting anything out of the graveyard. Let's grab that Taiga. And let's go Assassin's Trophy on Muldrotha. The main thing that we're trying to do at this point right now is really just kind of make sure we can get Muldrotha's commander tax going as high as possible. Even though they can make a lot of land drops, simply just keeping her off the battlefield. If you're playing Muldrotha, if you're the Muldrotha player, you definitely want to have Muldrotha on the battlefield to take advantage of your graveyard. And so by getting that commander tax up, that's one way we can certainly do that. And also for the City's Blessing, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are sitting at 7 permanents, but once we get down Omnath, that'll certainly allow us to very quickly work towards that City's Blessing and end up with some a 5/5 dinosaur that can swing in and attack. Now, as far as Lord Windgrace, any new additions to the deck? I don't think I made any new additions. Assassin's Trophy's in here. This deck is, if you haven't seen this deck before, this is pretty much just a Jund-style land deck. We get Life from the Loam in the graveyard, get down Lord Windgrace, and Lord Windgrace in this particular build is kind of a little bit more of a support commander. The where this deck really shines is in the creatures like Omnath. We get down Gitrog, just really making sure we have a ton of synergy within the land drawing from our creatures. So yeah, we'll go and dredge Life from the Loam. Yeah, I think that'd be good. We're doing we're gonna go double lands this turn, and we're not. Well, actually, yeah, we can still do that. So let's go and dredge Life from the Loam. It's gonna be Underrealm Lich in the graveyard. Let's go Omnath. That's gonna be double red, double green. One more green, and then 1, 2, 3. And you're about to see the power of Omnath. This is going to be some really, really good elementals. Once we get down Scalding Tarn, that's a 5/5 elemental. We get down Bloodstained Mire, that'll be an additional 5/5 elemental. Now, if our opponent does have some sort of spot removal, they can stop this. But at this point right now, thankfully, with us having 2 fetch lands on the battlefield, let's say they do end up going for spot removal at the end of our turn, we can crack in response to that. Or if we crack one of our fetch lands, we can crack the other one and still kind of get an elemental going. So let's go and push in with Wayward Swordtooth. That's going to be a 5/5 coming across on our opponent. And you can see where we were stuck on that one lander, but thankfully with us being able to make a few extra land drops, we had that Realms Uncharted. That really kind of helped us break free. And even if we didn't hit Ancient Tomb, if we just hit another land, just simply getting that graveyard flowing is a really good feeling. So let's see what our opponent's tapping out for. It's going to be 4 total mana. Okay, opponent's going to go for Notion Thief. If an opponent would draw a card except for the first one they draw, skip that draw and you draw a card. Okay, I mean, we can play around that. We've got Dreadbore. We have a couple different answers. Now, with them tapped out, I want to go ahead and get these lands on the battlefield. That way we can trigger this Omnath. That way, we don't have to worry about any sort of weird timing issues. We go... Well, since we do have... No, I think we want to save Dreadbore for Muldrotha. Yeah, we'll have that come into play tapped. Let's go and crack another Bloodstained Mire. And we'll go and grab Blood Crypt and just have that come into play tap 2. Okay, we're going to get 2 more elementals. We could have shocked those in, but that's going to put us down to 16. And sometimes these Muldrotha decks can really just come out from nowhere, come out of left field, just screaming. So we're going to try to, since we're down to 20, we were kind of a little bit heavy on Ancient Tomb. We're going to try to protect our life total. But yeah, as far as the deck goes, we've got Omnath in here, we've got Get Wrong, we've got Doom Whisper, we have Titania. It's pretty much the like the Emmys or the Oscars of any sort of land value creature. And then of course, outside of just land creatures, we've got Underrealm Lich, which is going to allow us to kind of dig into our library. Works out really well with Lord Windgrace. So, and this is pretty much what you want to do. End up with these elementals. We get down Lord Windgrace as our support commander, and now we can really just kind of go to town. We have with Lord Windgrace protected here at the Lord Windgrace Estates, and we can really start working towards those cat tokens. And our opponent's going to go for Terramorphic Expanse out of the graveyard. But yeah, outside of the deck, I think that's about it. It's just good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, as far as Arena goes, I've been working on a few Arena decks, and one of the things that I've really started to really enjoy about Arena is that it reminds me of when I first got into Magic. Like I first got into Magic Online, I would build a lot of theme decks. Like I remember having it's Master of the Wild Hunt. It's the 4 mana from like M12 or something like that. But I built like this forest deck that had Master of the Wild Hunt in there, had a lot of tokens, Pulse of the Tangle, and I would just play these theme decks in the Magic. It was called Classic on Magic Online. They don't have Classic anymore, but Classic was basically the format that is kitchen table Magic, if that makes sense. There wasn't necessarily Vintage, it wasn't necessarily Legacy. I mean, technically it was both of those, but it was definitely, if you were playing playing that format, it was very much like a kitchen table Let's see what they're going. Oh, are they going to go for yeah, look at that. They're going to go for Underrealm Lich. So what we may end up doing is cashing in a Crux of Fate, because with Omnath, whenever you destroy Elemental, that's going to be 3, 6, 9, 12. That's going to be 15 damage to our opponent. I think I kind of like cashing that in. That may sound pretty fun. So let's go and push it with the entire crew. Let's see how our opponent wants to block on this one. We will not be swinging in with Omnath because we want to definitely make sure that Omnath sticks around on the battlefield so we can cash in that damage. But it's going to be a pretty big hit once we swing in with everybody. So let's go and hold off on Omnath. But yeah, long story short, Arenas, it reminds me of that. And so that's definitely what I've been trying to incorporate into my deck building. So if you haven't seen some of my Arena videos, or if you've been hesitant to watch it because it's standard, I'm trying my best to kind of incorporate what makes these Commander videos fun, carry that over into Arena. And it kind of makes for a little bit of a better recording experience because I can... I can end up with these really short games. I'm not having to get frustrated with, like this game, we've gone past the 14-minute mark, and that's good because this is going to be a good video that I can post so far. But with some of these Arena, sometimes when I'm recording Commander, I end up with these games where somebody scoops really quick. And so with recording these Arena videos, it kind of makes it to where end up with some really fun Magic experiences and some really fun gameplay, because that's what I always like to go for. Okay, so our opponent is sitting at 15. We still end up have 5 elementals on the battlefield. This is going to be exactly just enough for it to go for. This is going to destroy all non-dragon creatures, and I cannot tell you how much anxiety I get worried that I clicked the wrong mode on Crux of Fate. So we're going to destroy all non-dragon creatures. I always have to double check it because I'm worried about clicking dragons and our opponent being like, oh, did you mean to do that one? All right, so we're going to destroy all non-dragon creatures, and that's going to be 5 elementals on the battlefield. Oh, look at that. 3. This is some beautiful... I wish Moshbridge Troll was here. He would really enjoy this Road Rage. That's going to send these damage up top. Let's go and always yield, save the targets, and then always yield to these triggers. And that's going to slowly whittle away at our opponent's life total. So you can see where we were stuck on 1 land in the hand, we were able to in-tune for Life from the Loam. Get some really good dredge action going, make a few extra land drops with Wayward Sawtooth, and then close this one out. So thankfully, opponent hit Dragon Lord. Thankfully, we're able to stop that and any opposition too. So good game by our opponent. I'm glad they stuck this one out, but you can definitely see we're in the Battle of the Graveyards. Even though we didn't get him down, Lord Windgrace was still kind of giving us his good luck on this one. We got down Omnath, some beautiful elementals. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.